I wanted to ask about the 2005 playoff final. So that's a good Preston before you joined. Were you watching that as a fan, hoping we'd win with one eye on the transfer? Like, did you have any foresight that it might happen?
I was leaving Charlton that summer. Fell out a little bit with Curbs.
Yeah.
Knew there was interest here if West Ham got promoted. My family all went. It was obviously in Cardiff. They all got a plane up and had a spare ticket. So, Paul, do you want to come? So I went as a fan.
No way.
Yeah, I went as a fan.
The best possible answer to this question.
But in the back of my mind, thinking, if they go out, I've got a chance. I've got a chance to go back to my football club.
Hello and welcome to Ironcast. I'm Chris Skull. Joining me, as always, Mr. Carlton Cole.
There we go. How are you?
I'm good. Do you know why I'm excited today?
Go on, mate.
We're about to go prime Barclays.
Ooh.
We've got a guest who is a West Ham fan, former West Ham season ticket holder, went on to become number 3 to play for West Ham and have only 2 seasons. It felt like a lot longer, but one of those seasons ended at Cardiff at the FA Cup final, and he nearly stole the show that day. Welcome to Ironcast, Mr. Paul Konchesky.
Thank you, mate. Nice intro. Lovely intro.
You like that, yeah?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I told him to come proper.
The 2 years seems a lot longer. I wish it was.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. So me and Carlton were chatting about this interview. We were like, what should we ask for the first question? And we both agreed there's only one question we wanted to ask, which is that through your whole playing career, you were bald. And I, as Colin had assumed, well, that was because you were bald. And then suddenly one day at Leicester, I tune in watching you play. You got full head of hair. And then today, here we are. How many years since you stopped playing? The whole time you were playing, you were bicking your head.
I was. You're right. Cody, surely you knew that.
I didn't know. Mate. Conch, you know me, right? Like, I looked at you, I thought, yeah, he's a hard person. He's so hard. Like, I always thought, and he's lost his hair as well, so he's an angry man. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then I saw you, I think I saw the same game.
Yeah.
At Leicester. And I saw you had a full bed of hair. I was like, nah, is he been doing this by choice? Do you know how crazy you got to be doing this by choice? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, also, like, proper shit, like...
Yeah, proper.
I'll tell you the story. So, growing up, I had hair. But got to a certain age, 11, 12, got like a cow's lick. So, a little bit goes one way, and then the rest of the hair went the other. So, in the mornings, get up for school, it's like a ball ache. I want it to go this way, but it's going this way, and I had enough of it. Yeah. So I went number one and a half at school. The teacher was a bit, can't really do that. So I went as short as I could, just so I didn't really have to mess around with my hair. But when I started playing, it was every week, just
doing it, picking it.
Get the pick off. Picking it. But a little bit like Dixie, so...
What did I say?
Yeah,
What did I say? I said, because I looked at Dixie and I always look at you. I'm not saying I'll put you in the same category, but I associate you together. Like, you remind me of him badly. Do you know what I mean? And that left foot as well. Unbelievable. So I thought, what did I say? I said, you probably love Dixie.
Yeah.
So you just thought, I'm going to do what Dixie does.
Do you think, was there a bit of that? Was there a bit of being inspired by Julian Dixon there?
Not obviously because the hair, but I was left-footed. I ended up playing at left-back.
Yeah.
West Ham boy. Watched him week in, week out. So it was a little bit like...
Yeah.
Bit of an idol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to play at left back. Got a skinhead.
yeah.
See myself a little bit like a hard tack, like Coley says, and a left-footed.
No nonsense defending as well. No nonsense defending.
Yeah, so a little bit was a bit like Dixie, yeah.
Let's talk about, so you were a West Ham season ticket holder. I read that you had a season ticket in the Bobby Moore Upper as a kid. Is that right?
I did, yeah. But
so what years,
really young, I was in the North Bank. I used to stand behind the North Bank.
No way.
Wow.
Where the wall was, but I had to have a milk crate because I weren't tall enough to see. So my mum used to take me all the time. My sister used to go to South Bank next to the away fan. So it was, I was a proper fan, like stand up and cheer on the lads.
That's wicked.
So what were your years? What was your era? When did you first start going?
So I would have gone when Georgie Paris.
Yeah. What's that, like 91, 90?
Yeah.
Like
so
that?
10 years. Yeah, probably a bit younger. 89, 90.
Liam Brady, would you say?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, towards the end. Incy. Yeah.
Wow.
McAvenny.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
We've got to get Macaron soon as well.
And then there was Bish, Morley.
Bish.
Yeah, so I seen them all. But Dixie was obviously the one.
Yeah.
But even Stuart Slater, people like that.
Stuart Slater.
It was good days as a fan.
Yeah.
In the crowd, being an hooligan, really.
And there's not many.
Proper Green Street. Proper Green Street.
Singing all the songs and
that number one all over in the North Bay. Like, watch that kid. So there's not that many West Ham players that I'm aware of who would have been in the North Bank. That's like incredible. So when you went on to become a pro, you must have met some of these guys that you you were idolising as a kind of season ticket holder. You must have.
Yeah. When I first signed here, I think because they obviously knew I liked Dixie, and Dixie had just retired and things like that. We done a big thing here with Dixie because West Ham, me being a mad West Ham, but idolising my little self on him. So it was quite good to do a feature with him signing for the club that obviously I supported, watched, loved, and ended up playing for.
Oh,
wow,
man.
that's amazing.
The other thing I love as well, you picked the number 3 shirt. So, I mean, you're a left back, so that does kind of make sense. But that must have been extra bit special to get the West Ham shirt number 3 when you signed. Yeah,
because obviously growing up, Cole, it used to be 1 to 11.
Yeah.
Them days have changed when obviously I signed for the club, and what number do you want? I wanted to be number 3. Yeah, a little bit because it's number 3's left back, but obviously because Dixie played as number 3 here as well. And like I say, I did look up to him, and being a West Ham fan, hopefully I could have been as good as him and wear his number 3 shirt.
Conch, like when I joined the club, you was here, but you'd only been here a year before. But it seemed to me that you was here like way before, because I remember I was at Charlton with you as well. I was there on loan with you, but it seemed to me that you'd been here way like years before, because you was just embedded, and you was always quiet, but you just done your talking on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So when I look back, my memories of you here is just that you was just part of the furniture already. It was weird. Do you know what I mean? And I only got to spend a year with you here.
Yeah. It's because as a young boy, I was here at 9 and I left here at 13 to go to Charlton.
Yeah.
Just more game time, hoping to be a professional footballer. And I thought I had more chance to go to Charlton.
So you was here at 9?
At 9, yeah. So I started here, my first academy days, youth team, or schoolboy days, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. So I was here, but thinking West Ham, Charlton, I got more of a chance maybe to make it as a footballer.
What players did you have here that all probably
the group was good here? We had Bobby Zamora, Fitzel.
You had Bobby Zamora here?
John Terry, but we was all together, and then obviously
this is at West Ham.
Joey Cole was younger, so Cole used to train with us as well on a Tuesday and Thursday night, like schoolboy nights. But at 13, had opportunity to go to Charlton. Did I want to go? Not really, because West Ham's my team, but expecting to make it as a professional footballer somewhere, I thought I had more chance at
going there
at Charlton, more game time and things like that. So I ended up going to Charlton, stayed there. Cole, you come on loan, and you
was a proper legend there as well.
Yeah, and you was young, and I left there at 24. Yeah. So I had 9 good years at Charlton, but when my club comes calling, it's something that I wanted to always go back to, and it was a dream to come back to play for my team, even though I started as a young boy, to be a professional footballer playing for your team.
Yeah. And established at that time as well.
Yeah, it was a dream come true when Pards picked up the phone when they got promoted. Would you come here? And it's like, it was a no-brainer to me. So to come back, quite nice that you say part of the furniture, because it did feel like that, and I think that was just the surroundings and the environment we was in at the time, and the players and the staff that was here.
Yeah, we had some good characters in that dressing room as well, didn't we?
Oh, it was a fantastic dressing room. I think the year before you came, when we got to the cup final.
And that was your first year?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
The environment, the dressing room was young, mostly British, and I think
it was unbelievable.
And Pards obviously got the best out of us.
I wanted to ask about the 2005 playoff final. So that's a good Preston before you joined. Were you watching that as a fan, hoping we'd win with one eye on the transfer? Like, did you have any foresight that it might happen?
I was leaving Charlton that summer. Fell out a little bit of curbs.
Yeah.
Knew there was interest here if West Ham got promoted. My family all went. It was obviously in Cardiff. They all got a plane up and had a spare ticket. So, Paul, do you want to come? So I went as a fan.
No way.
I went as a fan.
The best possible answer to this question.
But in the back of my mind, thinking, if they go out, I've got a chance. I've got a chance to go back to my football club.
Amazing.
But I went back as a fan, and obviously what a fantastic day it was. So, but enjoyed it as a fan. but people not knowing that I have had interest that if they do get promoted, there's talks could happen with my agent and Pards and to get out of Charlton if the fee can be agreed.
Yeah.
So after that, it was like onto my phone, onto my agent, blah, blah, blah.
Get this done.
But I went away to America. It was obviously the time we can go away, so went away, and then the talks were still going. But I flew back knowing it was happening, so I come back a little bit earlier just in case I had to be there yesterday, not today.
Yeah.
But I went as a fan, but knowing that if they get a win and get promoted, there's a chance I could end up at West Ham, and
that's boyhood dreams. Isn't it?
Thank God they won and brought my dream to come
reality.
true.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
And Bobby Zamora gets the winner, obviously 1-0. But Bobby Zamora, who you would have been in the academy with, would you have played at Senrab at the same time?
Yeah, I played with Bob. So I've played quite a lot with Bobby. Obviously, District, County.
Yeah.
Who was in that team? That Senrab team?
Ledley King.
Oh,
Bob.
Look at the
John Terry, Fitz. Bless his soul. J. Lloyd Samuel.
Yeah, J. Lloyd.
Paul Nichols, who didn't make it, but he was at Chelsea as a goalie.
Was Jermaine Defoe there?
Jermaine and Leon was younger.
You're right.
They was a year younger. Leon Knight. So, but yeah, we had a fantastic team there. But I played with Bobby quite a bit. So for him to score the winner was amazing.
Yeah. There's so many weird flukes in your career. Like one of them is when you make your England debut, you make it at Upton Park. How many things Conch's career? Yeah. England, Australia.
There's something about you, you know. There's something about you. I don't know what it is.
But I say that obviously playing for your country is one thing, but for me to make my debut at the stadium where I went as a kid.
Oh my God.
Supported. And it was my team. It was like you say, it was weird, but it's another dream playing for my country at my stadium in Upton Park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's Wayne Rooney's debut as well, wasn't it? England versus Australia. Yeah.
Upton Park. I remember it was Upton Park.
Yeah, it was Upton Park. Yeah. So to walk out Upton Park, but with the England badge on it was
surreal.
Unreal. Yeah, unreal.
Yeah. So that first season is absolutely incredible. Obviously, we get promoted against Preston, and like you said, we had so many great young players with something to prove. When you walked into that dressing room, could you tell this team had something about it? How soon did you realise that this was a club on the up?
That's a good question, because I say to quite a lot of people, I don't know if you look now at what we had a fantastic team, but we didn't have one big name that you'd say, he's going to get us out of trouble here, or if we're in trouble, or he's got a bit of magic, blah, blah. I think the group and the environment was so good, but we'd done everything together. So we would go out for food, we'd go out on a night out, but we was together everywhere we went. And I think that proved that on the pitch. So Pard's got that core group together, which it obviously showed. And then you start getting the class players. Yossi is the trickery he had, and when Carlos and Mascherano come.
Yeah.
So, but I think the core of the group was unreal. Just British. They knew what it took to win and what it meant to West Ham fans and the club.
That's what it was. I think it was more that we knew what it meant.
Yeah.
And if you wasn't playing well, the fans will let you know. And because we are from here, we got to live that reality. It was hard to get away from it.
Of course,
So you had to always had to give 100%. And you had obviously the chicken run if you're playing. And you played on that side quite a lot, didn't you?
And I say to a lot of people, that when we played at Upton Park, that chicken run was intimidating.
Yeah.
For when you played for West Ham, it was intimidating, because if you're not doing well, they'd soon tell you.
And you was on their side a lot, on his left ear.
But when you come back,
as the bloke you used to stand next to him.
When you come back as an opposing player, they soon give you some more sticks. So that was one intimidating place. And playing for the club or against the club, it was something that you didn't really want to be by. And that's why I think we give it our all anyway. And I think that proved, and it got us so far.
Yeah, there was no hiding place. No hiding place. And the thing with no hiding place, it wasn't just the fans, it was the players. We held everybody to account. If you wasn't running around, we'll tell you. We'll not talk behind your back or anything, it will just be to your face. And then if we have to scrap in the dressing room later, we'll have a little tear up. That's what it was.
But the next day, everything's fine.
It's kind of
It's good that. I was actually looking for the first time you played at Upton Park, and it was for Charlton. Do you know the game? It was Boxing Day 2000. You were playing for Charlton against West Ham. You came off the bench
What's the
in
score?
the 82nd minute. What was the score?
We lost 3-1, did we?
Bit more than that.
What's the score?
5-0 you lost.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking for the first time you played.
You come off bench and we're 5-0 down. We lost 5-0.
I think it was the 82nd minute you came on. I don't know the score at that point, but it finished 5-0.
Yeah.
Why are you coming on that type of score?
You
Just going to get some minutes
John
in.
Robinson, you
must
came
have
on
you must have had a bonus or something. Get me on, Gaffer.
They try to get me hat-trick.
That's brilliant.
You don't remember that? No, not remember
it.
I would have thought you might remember that first ever time playing at Upton Park.
No, but I do remember playing here. It might have been for Fulham. And I think I set Coley up.
Yeah.
No,
give a pen away.
You found me. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I chopped him down.
Chopped me down. Says, I got away with it, and I've gone like, I'm kind of muscled. You said, nah, I'm not having this. You're coming down.
Chopped him.
But you was playing for both teams, probably. That's why.
It was actually a game against West Ham when you were playing for Fulham. Fulham lost 3-1, but you scored a goal that was almost goal of the season. 35-yard scream.
I think Green's still waving at it now.
Mate, I couldn't believe that hit. That was a hit and a half, wasn't it?
But that was mental as well, because like, when I received it in my own half, driving forward, like, there was no winger. There's only Lucas Neal in front of me, and I'm thinking,
where was the winger?
My wide player's there, so Lucas worrying about him or worrying about me, and he didn't come to me. So, and as I be fair, I just thought, like, why not give it a go? Anything could happen, and Greeny was just waving like this.
No normal person, no normal footballer, looks at that goal at that distance and think, why not? Nobody does. I don't know anybody but you that could do that.
Yeah, be fair, Colin. I could strike it with my left foot, so when that opportunity do come, they either end up there or end up row Z. So lucky enough for me,
sonic boom.
That's what you happened in the top corner, and then we went on and lost anyway. So it means nothing.
But your West Ham debut was West Ham versus Blackburn, first game of the season. I think we actually went 1-0 down in that game, as I remember rightly. We ended up winning 3-1.
3-1,
and that felt like the game that launched this new era. What was it like to finally put on that West Ham shirt and walk out into Upton Park on that day?
Yeah, amazing. I think when you hear the bubble song or you sing the bubble song, and it's fantastic. But when I was in the tunnel with the shirt on, walking out at Upton Park, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
You didn't have any back then. To remind you.
But the hairs, and you get the shivers, like them fans knowing that I'm a fan, I'm a player now, them singing that coming out. You sing it a little bit under your breath, but it was like you say, it was unreal. And I'll never forget that game, because I remember putting Robbie Savage in the stand behind the goal. The ball was running out, and I just pushed him right over. He used to get the anyway, didn't he? And he chased me down. And I was like, yeah, that was unbelievable. Like you say, 1-0 down to go and win 3-1.
Yeah, and
start of a new era for the club. Just got promoted, and the way it started the Premier League with a victory at Upton Park was unreal.
There's so many games in that season that are worth talking about. I want to talk about the last away team to win at Highbury. You were part of that starting 11 that day. We won 3-2. Sol Campbell getting subbed off at half-time. But it really kind of, that encapsulated the spirit of that team. But what was it like on that night at Highbury?
Oh, is that when I assisted Bobby?
Yeah, I think it was the
that was in the first half.
Yeah, give Sol the old.
I was that the famous game that Bobby always talks about. I sent Sol Campbell home.
Yeah, the diagonal. Bobby pushed.
That's it. I remember the goal.
Listen, you go to Highbury, you know what Arsenal was like, and it was a tough place to go. But like I say, the group we had that group that had no fear. We had no fear wherever we went, home or away. And when we was on form, when we turned up, we give anyone a game. And like you say, we went to Highbury, and I can't remember the score at half time, but we once we went in the lead, we knew that they weren't gonna beat us. And like Coley says, it was we run around for each other. If I make a mistake, I know Ginge or Gabs was going to be there for me, or vice versa. And we just had everything on on a bit of string, really. I knew what Matty was doing, Matty knew what I was doing. And that's credit to Pards, because Pards was really good on the training ground with that sort of stuff. And the lads bought into it, and I think that's why we done so well. But going to Highbury to win was unreal.
You see that team, because it was a young team, right? So for a manager, all he's got to do is just keep you lot occupied and to fight for each other. Yeah. So all the stuff off the pitch was just as important as the stuff that you'd see on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Because they had that bond, that brotherhood, and that's hard to break.
Yeah,
I never remember the first couple of training sessions. I think me, Ginge, and Gabs all signed together the same day, and then we went to training. And our first training session, we done a back four work. So obviously, them two, me. It might have been Anton started playing right back a little bit.
Yeah, he came in at right back.
Yeah, Anton but Pards had a bit of string out, and we used to
literally like the old George Graham
like
stuff.
Rope, yeah.
Really.
And I was thinking after training, what is this? I'm not coming to do this.
It's amateur.
I've not come
bit of rope.
But it was like, and we had squares, so like when you was
I remember those.
I had to get to here and
distances.
But it was unreal. You look back now and you think, yeah,
it worked.
That was what we needed. All new together.
Yeah.
We're all brand new players to the football club to try and get his ideas over to us. It was unreal. Like you look back now and think, yeah, that's what we needed. Like,
really, it worked.
Even if you've done 2 or 3 sessions of it, now we know what we're doing. I'm here, Gabs, you got to come over, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It was like...
That's teamwork.
But you look at it when you first, I'm thinking, I've signed, I've got ropes. I'm playing with ropes.
It's going to be hard to buy into this.
Moving. You know, as a player, Coley,
what are we doing here?
I don't know what the lads are like these days, but you think then, you're thinking... Really?
Yeah, because you know what it is? Because you probably, if you've never done that before,
and
it's not been taught to you, and you've
you
gone
feel a bit
all the way,
a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, you're thinking, what am I doing? I feel like, what is this? It's cringy. You know what I mean? Like, don't you trust us? Like, but it was actually you're building a bond.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You was actually building a bond.
So I take it right back now, and I think, Pards, you got that right, because that was good for the success we had as a back four.
So let's talk. One of the big things about that first season you had with West Ham was we get to the FA Cup final, obviously, and we go through Norwich, Blackburn, Bolton in the 5th round. You play in all of those, but it really seemed to kick on into another gear when we were away to City in the quarterfinal. A Dean Ashton inspired performance, and then suddenly we're in the semi-final, and obviously West Ham hadn't been in a semi-final for a long time up until that point. Can you talk about what it was like within the squad, the excitement building as we went to Villa Park to take on Middlesbrough?
So I'll take it back to Bolton. We went, I think it was a Saturday, 0-0, come back to Upton Park, and then we win. But I think that the team they had at the time, getting a draw at Bolton was a good result for us, knowing we would come back to Upton Park, the fans, on a Tuesday night, they're the best nights under the lights at Upton Park. They were fantastic.
Yeah.
So you take it back to that game, and then you win in extra time. And like you say, you go to City. Dino does a little bit of magic. I remember him chopping it with his left, putting it in with his right. Unreal. The scenes for the lads was unreal. Like, yes, we're in a semi-final. Villa Park, Middlesbrough. So I think the time you beat Bolton and you beat City, you take on anyone. So whoever we got in the semi-finals, we're thinking
this game,
we're game for this because we've beat City, we've beat Bolton, beat City. We can beat anyone here because we're one game away from the final.
Yeah.
An FA Cup final, like you say, it hasn't been done in years, and it's a dream for most of us lads to go and play in the cup final.
Yeah.
To go to Villa Park, Middlesbrough, was an unreal day. Unreal day. But to get a result when Marlon scores.
Oh, man. It was such a tight game.
Unreal.
Nothing between the teams.
And I think
Marlon with a moment of
magic. I think they're the best games because, 0-0, boring. People think it was an unreal game, end to end. And we wanted to win, they wanted to win. There weren't no sitting back. And then obviously Marlon comes up trumps with a goal that he lived off forever.
Till this day.
He's still talking about it now.
Do you know what? I don't mind him dining off it forever. It was like...
We'll take it now, won't we?
Yeah, we'll take it
now. But and then Marlon goes and scores, and like... It's hard to...
Scenes.
Yeah, it's hard because you think, we've got to celebrate.
But you can't. He's still got to get a job to do.
We still had games to play, and we've got in the cup final.
Still got a job to do.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate because we've got to enjoy this moment because it don't come around often that you can say you've played or got to an FA Cup final.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then that day we got to the FA Cup final.
The celebrations are. I've watched the highlights back when the full-time whistle goes. Like I've rarely seen celebrations like it. The joy was so obvious. What was it like when you got back to the dressing room after, like, coming off the pitch? Was it just...
Yeah, unreal. But you get in the dressing room, you're like, oh, thank God that's done. Like, we're there.
We're there.
You're knackered anyway from the game.
Yeah.
Knackered from the celebrations. But yeah, when it all calms down, then we enjoy it. And the trip back we enjoy. And
any beers on a trip back?
Yeah, you know that, Cody. Pars love the beer anyway.
The crate was ready.
Old school crates.
The old school crates
back of the bus.
Back of the bus.
But yeah, the scenes are unreal, and to get to a FA Cup final with, for me, the club that I love was it is a dream come true again.
The excitement is building about the FA Cup final, but our last home game of the season is a home game against Spurs. And we know that if we win, we can stop them getting Champions League football. But on the morning of the game...
was that
the news story breaks that they've all been struck down with food poisoning. Lasagna-gate.
Lasagna-gate. I heard about this.
West Ham pull off an incredible 2-1 victory. Yossi Benayoun-inspired victory.
Yes.
I'd love to know, like, as a player... Did you remember hearing about? Oh, have you heard this? The game might, because there was rumours the game would get postponed.
So what was this? What was that about though? What lasagna?
I think they were eating at Canary Wharf. They were in a hotel and they got served lasagna. The night before.
We stayed. Oh. We stayed in the hotel. We stayed in the Marriott, Canary Wharf. But we started getting them filtered through. This game could be off because they've got food poisoning. And like Pars pulled a meeting. Like, lads, listen. There's all these rumours. We're concentrating on the game because it's Tottenham.
Yeah.
West Ham, Tottenham. We know what that's like. We don't want them to win. Yeah. We need to beat them. We're going to stop these. This is like at our stadium, our fans. Yeah. West Ham, Tottenham is
massive.
Is the best game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Regardless, player, fan, West Ham, Tottenham game is. But don't worry about them rumours. They're lying. They've just got to concentrate on us. We've done our team shape. We've done our talk. We'll be ready for the game. So then we travel. On the bus, I can't remember. It might have been Grant. He come on the mic on the bus. Saying, lads, the game's on. Right, as soon as we get there, this is business now. Yeah. So we get there, and then
so there's a lot of uncertainty before the game going there. Like everyone's going
because they kept saying they've got 10 first-team players out with this food poisoning. Oh. So is the game going to go ahead?
Did you have no contacts over there?
Nah.
Didn't have no one over there that you could say, what's going on?
Nah, they wouldn't tell you anyway, would they? Because West Ham Tottenham is mad. But yeah, so we get to the game and like you say, the rest is history because we do what we have to do and stop them getting where they have to get to.
Yeah.
So for us, that was...
Job well done.
Unbelievable scenes. And for the fans, even
better.
They
were bitter about that.
Yeah, of course. And they'd always say they didn't have their best players. But when you look at their team, they had a good team.
They still had a good team.
They had a good team. But we was good that day, to be fair. The sun was shining out, it was hot. It was good. It was good to play Upton Park against them.
And Yossi did that double chop to get the
chop.
No, you knew it was coming. Everyone always knew it was coming. You can't stop it. It's just magic.
Yeah, because you have to come as a defender. You have to commit yourself. Yeah. You have to commit
because you think he's going to shoot and you go, and you think he's going to shoot again. He goes the other way.
You've got to commit.
He had that on toast. To be fair, he was class at that.
There's one other incident worth asking about. I think it was before the Spurs game. We play Liverpool at home, and there's a double sending off. I believe it was Hayden Mullins and Luis Garcia. Hayden Mullins was so critical to that team heading into the FA Cup final. I remember myself and a lot of West Ham fans really felt his loss. Did you as players recognise that losing Hayden Mullins to the final was a big blow?
Yeah, so before that, obviously Hayden's devastated. We're devastated for him to get to a cup final. He's played in the running and then on the day you can't play. But I think Hayden... If you ask a lot of the players in that team, Hayden was someone who didn't get as much credit as probably deserved.
Mate, Rolls Royce of a footballer.
Yeah, he tackled, he run, he done the dirty work, didn't moan, and probably kept the midfield together. You know, because Hayden could play. He was a good footballer, good football brain, and like Coley said, he was a Rolls Royce, and he was probably someone we missed in the final as as much as Cole Fletcher came in and we had a fantastic backup. I think Hayden was someone that we probably missed to get to grips in that centre midfield.
He was definitely, everyone he's had a nickname. I don't know if fans know, but it was Cash.
Cash?
Cash, because casual, casual.
Everything he'd done was so
Everything
casual.
was just nonchalant. Do you know what I mean? He was unbelievable. What a play. I spoke to him the other day. But everything he used to do, when he used to touch the ball, the way he even touched it, like all his touches were great. He never used to, like, people used to call me TNT, touch and tackle.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, the boys used to bang me sometimes.
That's gonna come
I don't mind, mate. People like listen, mate. People like to batter, make themselves feel better. But I was effective. But I'm just saying, like with him, he's called Cash. I'd never seen him have a bad touch, and that's what. And he kept Mascherano at the team.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a big talk when that was a big chat when obviously they came and Hayden Mullin in front of Mascherano.
No one could understand it. No one could understand it.
But I think unless you knew
football,
and you played with him, how much he gave the team as an individual.
Because it was him and Nigel Reo-Coker fed off him really well.
Yeah.
Because Nigel, you get the ball, you drive forward, but Cash would always just sit there and protect and just make sure and just marshal the back four, make sure that you was protected on that side.
I just think he went under the radar because he'd done his work quietly, didn't never moan, he didn't kick up a fuss.
Yeah. I'm glad we're bigging up Hayden as well. We need to get him on here too.
Yeah, definitely.
But for him to miss the cup final was devastating.
I imagine every family member, all your cousins, second cousins, third cousins were after tickets. Your phone must have been blowing up as we headed to Cardiff.
Do you know what? It was, right? and at the time I was moving house and the guy who was buying my house was a West Ham fan, mad. I can't get final tickets. And I'm like, mate, I've got so many. I can't get no more. He went, you must be able to get some. Like, I'll give you the money. I said, like, it ain't about the money. I can't get them. Like, wait, I'm a West Ham fan, West Ham boy. I've got thousands on me. I've got to let people down. I said, so you've got no chance here, mate. As much as you're buying my ass.
Under this pressure?
As much as you're buying my ass, I can't. I've got people I've got to let down and tell them, no, sorry, you can't come.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Even like my nan and granddad came.
Yeah, you got to look after the family first.
And they didn't come to many of my games, but to a cup final is
it's a special occasion.
Never got there again, but you never know. But they came for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's unbelievable.
And how was it walking out, lining up against Liverpool in that FA Cup final for West Ham in your debut season?
Yeah, excited and enjoyment, but nervous.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, nervous.
How was you feeling like in the dressing room? What was said and how did that?
I think it was surreal when you get to the stadium. So we stayed over a couple of days.
Yeah. Was you there for a couple of days?
Yeah, we stayed up for a couple of days.
Up there
and then next day, get our suits, blah, blah, blah. So go to the game like a normal game, turn up. I think we went a little bit earlier, but normally an hour and a half before. So we probably got there just a couple of hours before, go out on the pitch.
Yeah. Because
we're playing at Cardiff because obviously Wembley weren't obviously ready. So went to Cardiff, sunshine, roasting.
It's a hot day.
Roasting. So, but the lads going out, looking at the pitch. And I think from then, it's so real that, right, this is business. This is FA Cup time. Yeah. We're in the final. Stadium's massive.
Anything could happen.
Never played there, so it was quite nice. Yeah. Never played at that stadium. Playing Liverpool, but we're here for a reason because we deserve to be here.
Yeah.
Go back in, start getting ready. I think that's when the butterflies hit home. You're like, don't want to make a mistake.
Yeah.
You don't want to be me. Want to win. I'm putting that shirt and I'm going to give everything I've got, even if I have to come off after 70 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
family's here.
Yeah. And
thousands of them.
Yeah.
Just come on, boys. Like, this is our time.
It means something,
and I was nervous. That's probably the one time, like,
really more nervous than like your England debut.
No, probably on par, but
it's a different type of nerves.
I think it was more nerves that it's my team. I want to win, and I want to go home a winner. Like, I want a winner's medal. Like, never got to a cup final like
lift
that
up
before.
That trophy,
massive for my team. That's why I can't really try too much because it's my team. Like, I get to a cup final with another team, but for my team to get to a cup final,
and I'm involved,
and I could be getting a gold medal. This is what I want.
Yeah,
Man.
it's unbelievable.
And then a game starts, and in the blink of an eye, we're 2-0 up.
Unbelievable. What was going on in your mind at that stage?
I'm thinking, and we know as players, Coley, like 2-0, come on, we're nearly there. But knowing 2-0 is a bad result.
Yeah.
Because if they get the next goal,
momentum.
we're on the back foot again because they're going to get momentum. But if we get the next goal...
And you know they're capable of it as well.
Of the players they had, like, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then if we get the next goal, this could write them off. This is going to be like, see you later.
Done.
You're done now.
Yeah,
We could be 3-0 up in the cup final against Liverpool.
Yeah.
No chance.
Unheard of.
So obviously 2-0, like, we're buzzing. And I think we've done all right. We were playing well, you know. But like you say, they're capable of going up that end and scoring. And they get the next goal.
And that's when...
Jibril Cisse.
Yeah.
And then I think you're on the back foot a bit now, thinking... Come on, lads, we've got to hold out for a little bit.
It was such a strange game. I was there. But like the momentum seemed to swing backwards and forwards. Like we started so well. And then when Liverpool got that goal, it was just all one-way traffic.
Yeah.
But then comes the moment, they get it back to 2-2, Steven Gerrard equalises. But then comes the moment, probably the most important question of this interview. The ball falls to your feet. Do you shoot or do you cross? Either way, it ends up over Pepe Reina in the goal.
A shame we ain't got to tell you here. I could show you. I meant it. Cole, come on, I meant it.
There's a slight
well,
smirk.
Let me tell you something, right? Look, we've been through this before, yeah? And I asked you outright, didn't I? I said, did you mean that? And he's gone, yeah. I was like, that means no. But listen, as a footballer, you always say you meant it.
Do you know when I look back, and I look, I've never watched that cup final again because
haven't you?
It heartbroke me so bad. But I look here, and when I see my goal, sometimes I look at it and I think, yeah, I've chipped him, like proper chipped him. And then on the day I went to cross him. But I remember getting the ball.
Does it matter?
I think Matty went inside, he received it, and he played it out wide. I had all that space to run into. So I'm running down and thinking, right, I'm just going to put this in the box. Dino, Marlon.
Yeah. But in that area.
Yeah,
in that
it ended
area.
up going over Pepe's head.
Yeah.
But me being me, I'm thinking, I've scored here. It's like 85, 86 minutes. So I'm thinking, I'm blowing it.
Yeah.
Game's nearly done. Like, I've scored right late here.
Yeah. Could win this. It's done.
Look up at the clock, it's like 63 or something. 64 minutes. I'm thinking, oh my God, there's still 25 minutes to go.
Cool.
But then you
and the heat as well.
I've scored late here.
But then you keep playing and the ball goes up, whatever it was, 4 minutes.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Come on, lads, this is injury time now. Like, dig in, come on, blah, blah, blah.
They look done as well. I think Steven Gerrard says in his book.
He had cramp, right?
Yeah.
I remember him, and I don't know if it's a Euros or a World Cup, because I said to him, Stevie, like, you're going away with England. Be careful. If you pull your calf,
you're done.
Yeah, you get off, and then.
Is that what he said to him on the pitch? Is that what he said?
Yeah. And then, like 5 minutes later,
you didn't say that to him. Wait. We need to reel this up. We need to reel this up
because he kept going down, didn't he?
Yeah.
And, I said, like, and it's 3-2, and I said, Stevie, like,
come on, man, do one.
You got like international duties. Like, we need you in it. You get off because if you pull your calf, you're out.
Trying to talk him into. Come on, do it. Trying to talk him into.
He said, no, I think it's only cramps. I said, no, it might not be. Get off.
I know what I'm looking at. That's your calf.
And then it happened. What happens is anybody else that don't happen.
You know what, Conch? Like, you say that, right? So I was doing working for for BT Sports in Paris, right? And Stevie G, we went out for dinner the night before the game, right? And Stevie G, I had to ask him about that goal, because I know what it meant, and how it affected us as a team. Because I weren't there, but I knew the remnants of it, and I know that when everyone speaks about Stevie G as West Ham's a great player, but what? You know what I mean? There's always some kind of. But I also said, listen, you see that goal? Yeah, I know it's funny you said that. The crap. He goes, do you know what, Coley? See that goal? The only reason I hit it from there is because I couldn't move. He says, I was so knackered, I had cramp, I couldn't move. So I just thought, first thing, I'm just going to hit it from here. It's last chance for me.
Yeah.
And it's flown in. He said he couldn't believe it. He couldn't even believe it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what you call, that's the moment of genius.
Yeah,
and
of
it just meant, what it meant for him was that he just hit a ball and it's gone in and he's the winner because his life's like that anyway. Yeah. But for us, it was bad, wasn't it? Like, because, and then I said to him, listen, you don't know what kind of effect you left amongst West Ham fans. It's crazy, the difference. And you didn't even mean it like that. That's even makes it even worse.
It does, it does. So they get momentum then. And it kills us and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of
it's
people,
like a little like a punch in the ribs.
A lot of people speak about the build up to that goal and
It's Scaloni. Well, what if the ball goes down your side? What do you do? Would you have done what Scaloni did and kind of knock it back in the midfield, or what?
No, I'm trying to boot it as far as I can up the pitch or off the pitch again.
Yeah.
So they have to throw it.
Yeah.
How many minutes was left?
I think it was like bang on 90, just very, very close to 90.
And there's extra time.
Yeah, in 4 minutes. The ball
then
had just gone up.
So then that's the devastating part, and then get it back in, and then Pard gets us back up because we've still got 30 minutes now. Tough 30 minutes in that heat as well.
Well, we almost win it in that 30 minutes, but Marlon, I think he's got a broken metatarsal, doesn't he? Do you cross it?
He's not having it. We need to get Marlon to confirm this.
Poor old Marlon. It was limp for the bay. And he had to tap it with his foot, left foot.
Yeah, all you got to do is...
But he said I had a broken metatarsal. Oh, my God.
Reminds me of the David A shot. Remember the David A shot? I got a broken foot.
But that was right near the end of extra time, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been unreal if he could have poked that in.
But,
oh, man. Was that your cross? Did you cross it to him? I'm trying to think.
No, it was the other side. Other side, yeah. But it was right at the end
unlucky,
again.
mate.
And then obviously it goes into...
Yeah. Penalties.
Yeah.
Penalties.
So, right, you're all gathered around the centre circle. First question, had you practiced penalties?
Yes, we did a week before.
Yeah?
Leading up to that week. I think Ludo brought in Peter Cech.
What?
Because Ludo's...
Yeah,
there's so many exclusives in this.
So Ludo's tight with Peter because of the Nationals.
Obviously, the big guy,
Cech,
really good at penalties. I think the lads were like on fire. He couldn't touch them.
Mm.
And then come the day.
Yeah. Did you have the order agreed before the penalties, or was it?
Yeah, I think we knew who was taking what.
You were third, right? Third, I think.
Do you have to remind me? Huh? Jesus.
Has to be talked about.
This is
therapy.
This is
therapy.
You obviously haven't spoken about this.
And I missed the penalty, so
that's all right. It's a penalty.
Well, you weren't the only one.
You weren't the only one.
And I think it don't make it worse because we lost anyway. But the three lads that missed, all mad West Ham fans.
Yeah.
And me, Anton, and Bobby.
Yeah, it's weird.
So it's our team, and we'll step up for our club, and all us fans miss.
Yeah.
Or saved. Goldie saved it.
Yeah,
so.
but
yeah. Important distinction.
But the worst thing for me, and Goldie, you know, as a player, and I always said, and I tell people, don't ever do it. I changed my mind at the last minute.
Did you?
So I went to play across my body, and Rainer like give it a little feint. So I'm thinking, that's where he's going. And I tried to play it the other way, and obviously he saved it. So he's done me like a treat. And I've always said, don't change your mind. Don't change your mind.
Yeah.
And I ended up changing my mind right at the last minute.
Yeah, it's because it's what these things happen when you're under immense pressure.
Yeah.
And you think you're right, and then all of a sudden the little devil on your shoulder goes, do it the other way. And then it happens.
But the advice
especially when something means something so much.
And the advice you give to people,
don't ever change your mind.
Don't change your mind and pick your corner.
Hit the corner.
Keep it low or whatever you're going to do. Just make sure you. And I've done the
advice.
complete opposite.
They didn't take his own advice.
How was the dressing room after the game?
Yeah, devastated. Devastated. There weren't much said. I don't really know what you could say. Like you could tell everyone was absolutely gutted,
dejected
for being so close.
Yeah.
In like normal time, so then coming away as runners up, it was devastating.
Because that group of lads had so much success that whole season, really, from the last summer.
Yeah, of course, getting promoted.
Yeah.
So this
the
was a big
kept
downer.
Going, yeah.
Yeah, this was a big downer.
But like you say, being so close to us as players, to staff, to fans, it would have brought
mate.
it would have brought us
different level.
It would have brought us so.
The partying that would have been happening in Cardiff that night. I think they still partied anyway.
My mate says it'd still be out partying from that night now.
But we flew back, you know. We flew back, yeah. So
straight away
that night.
Yeah, we flew straight after, yeah. But there was stuff going on, but like people were dejected and like it's like,
what's the point?
Can we be bothered? And
let's get home.
But yeah, it was devastating for us as lads and the club. But even worse when you feel like you've let the team down as well, missing a penalty and.
Do you think so? The following season obviously is a bit of a nightmare, and we struggle right through to March when the Great Escape begins. Do you think some of that was a hangover from the FA Cup final? Do you think missing out, we never quite mentally recovered from that blow?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I think when you're winning and everything's happy, all the confidence and it all comes together. Once you start losing games, it's really hard to get out of that role, if you like.
Yeah.
Because the confidence start going, yeah, but last year but this is a new season now.
Yeah.
Because we was quite new and young, and everyone who we played now knows what we're about. So they try and put the stops to what you're good at, and you got to go to the plan B really. But to get into that winning mentality again, it was tough because we couldn't win.
Yeah,
we couldn't buy a win for toffee, and then the confidence starts going, and then you can't score, but we can't keep them at this end.
Yeah.
If you kept clean sheets, it gives you half a chance. But when you're not keeping clean sheets and you're not scoring, it's tough to get out of that mentality.
I think that's it. This next season as well, we had a few good signings. Everyone we signed, yeah. So me, I think Lee Bowyer, it was
Tevez,
Mascherano. We had 3 more as well, didn't we? But when I
Lucas, Matty Upson,
we had
Tyrone.
We had a load.
Loads come in,
and do you know what it is? When you have that many signings and you try and merge them into a team that's already doing well, it's so hard. It's so hard, and I've seen it with other teams since when they sign about 11 players or 10 players and then they try and merge it with. It's hard to get them to get positive results straight away.
It's tough as well. And Coley, you might help me here. When we was doing well, Pars didn't really change the team. But then the second season, Coley, you come. Yeah. So we had you, Marlon, Bobby, Tevez, Teddy.
Yeah.
So Dino. So there's 6 centre forwards.
Yeah.
I'm talking about centre forward.
Yeah.
So who's the best ones to play?
Yeah. What's the
Depending
best combination?
What games?
Who's getting left out?
So you score, but you might get left out.
The next game.
It's really tough.
There's no momentum.
The team changed quite a bit, and where the year before it didn't change a lot. So I'm not making excuses. Does that play a part? I don't know.
It does play a part.
For a forward, you only getting confident when you're scoring goals. But if you're not playing, or you're playing 1 out for 2, in for 1, you're not getting them confident. So I think
it affects the team.
I think there's loads why it happened, and we couldn't get ourselves out of it until later on.
Yeah,
and when we changed managers.
Yeah, so December, Pards gets sacked, which is mad, really, given just a few months before, after that incredible season, almost winning the FA Cup, he goes, and in comes Alan Kirbishley. Now, I know you'd fallen out at Charlton, so he comes in, and you only play a handful of games once Kirbs comes in, and your time at West Ham comes to an end after 2 seasons, but you go on to have an incredible career at Fulham, Liverpool. Do you look back and wish maybe it had been different? You'd have spent more of your time at West Ham, or?
Of course, you know when you sign for your football club.
Yeah, you don't want to leave after that.
I'm thinking now, if I do all right, this could be me till I finish my career. I'd love to. I would love to have stayed here. Even if it ain't to the end of my career, I'd love to have done at least 5 years at the football club that I support, love, and
exactly.
I grew up watching, and I still watch now, and I'm a mad supporter. But I think things happen for a reason. But yeah, I'm absolutely gutted that I had to leave when I left. Knowing the year before I got to a cup final, and
it was a bit weird because you just left curves, obviously, and then he come and met you over here too. So he was like, the writing's on the wall. I've done it. I'm out.
Well, lads,
it
we had a
wasn't
good
just
run.
you who's trying to get rid of it, it was me too.
And Ted.
And
I think Ted
yeah,
stopped playing as well. But listen, that's life.
Yeah.
I hated him at the time
Yeah.
for that reason, because I wanted to play, and I wanted to play for this football team and this football club.
And the worst thing about you're both West Ham fans.
But that happens, and you don't hold grudges because I've seen him since, and we've done stuff together, and that's life. But at the time, it's the be all and end all to me, because this is my football team and my club, and I wanted to be here forever. And I do think sometimes if it weren't him, could I have still been there at 30, 31, 32,
you never know.
And ended up playing 500 games here like Nobes.
Conch, I've loved this chat. Prime Barclays, what a career with West Ham, just a couple of years, but so many amazing memories, and great to see. You're an ambassador now, right?
Yeah.
I am
here on match days.
I am, love it. Get to see the lads, but get to see the boys playing and the fans, and talking West Ham, because that's what we are.
Yeah.
Love it. Cheers, Coley.
Cheers, Conch.
Cheers, Coley.
And thank you for watching. What an episode of Ironcast. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time. Until then, come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.